All right. Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, May 8th. It's our last live stream of the week. We will not be live tomorrow morning. We're taking a look at NQ here. So we do have the near term range remains in play. Yesterday, we finally saw the true test of that 19,700 level of interest with a bit of a spring setup as well. Pretty similar to what we saw last week. Actually, very, very similar. Little undercut of the level. Little spring, little higher time frame spring, and now price is into what would be the higher time frame target for that spring setup. So let's dip down onto the 2-hour chart. You're going to see that little blip below local structure right through here, right into that 19,700 area. So that level we've been talking about all week, all week. Big area of support, prior resistance becomes support. Pretty simple stuff. And now we're into near-term range high. So the focus for this morning, pretty simple. We have a near-term range. We've got that 300 level of interest. We want to see our buyers going to be able to trigger the breakout here, or is this range going to remain in play with price closing the gap higher, retesting that 20K, maybe even trading into the near term range low? And that's the focus for this morning. Now, price is up against 150. After we see a rejection of a near-term range high, I don't really love those first levels of interest in the upper portion of the range. So I'm going to be cautious with that one. Taking it slow this morning, staying patient, mostly interested in seeing if buyers step in here and give us another test up into 300 or not. Now, if 150 fails, it's quite a bit lower that we have some interesting levels. 20K and then the gap fill. Here comes the open. Let's take a look. There's your open. We did have some decent action there with the data. I think that was jobless claims at 8:30. That was pretty nice. So first test of 150 held. You got session volume point of control right here at 174. Look at that 15 and 30 minute ahead of the bell and now into the open. So we're coming into that data low. Let's take a look at the gap. There's your big gap higher. Pretty large gap higher. Prior day high way down there at 53. Sellers continuing to step in here. So far, a bit more confirmation of that near term range high rejecting. A little bit of a gap and crap setup so far, right? Volume is pretty good. A little bit of overnight structure in this area. And Q coming into 100. We do have a 10 a.m. print as well. 10 a.m. data print. So based on the current action, there's more than likely going to be a cash until 10 a.m. type of morning for me. We'll see if price wants to revisit that 150 here. Some buyers definitely showing a little bit of interest. Opening 5-minute bar should be closed. There it is. It's just all no man's land, just bumping up against some overnight structure points, and then that psychological level near 100. Volume already tapering down. My goodness. No, low volume week. NASDAQ new lows. Let's take a look at ES. Coming into prior day high. S&P. YM looking a little choppy. Russell. Session lows. NASDAQ right into that 100 psychological level. Still cash on my end. Cashola. Per plan. Cash per plan. Like I said earlier, is likely a wait till 10 a.m. sort of morning, just based on the structure. It's like ES almost into that prior day high. A little bit of a bounce there. See if the structure breaks. That would be interesting if this lower high can break, give us a true test of the 150. See if sellers reload into that area. Patience, patience, patience. Clarity will come. Clarity will come. As of right now, we got a rejection of near-term range high. Buyers, given the backdrop, buyers definitely not making it easy on the sellers here. And then also note the volume. It's way below average. Can't even get average volume out of this market lately. Coffee reload, Dom. What's on deck? Another espresso? So NQ settling into a little bit of churn, a little bit of chop here near the 100 psychological level. We do have data in about 13 minutes, so we'll see if that kind of resolves this structure. But for right now, just staying patient. NASDAQ just sitting on that value area low for the extended hour session. Here we go, coming back in a session low. There's your new low of day, NQ. There we go, resolving lower. Better volume coming in now. There's ES back into the prior day range. NQ into prior day high. And 10 minutes till 10 a.m. 10 till 10. Gap fill is way down at 980-ish, 980. So yeah, if prior day high fails, that's the next target for sure. 20K in the gap fill area. A little bit of a bounce there. I would have preferred to have seen a true test of prior day high. So still cash personally. Still cash. NQ, just a retest there, the prior intraday low. Yeah, rolls right over. That's that pre 10 a.m. directional strength. Don't really want to be fading it, especially after a near term range high rejection. Let's take a look at that 5-minute again, RTH. Grab that short ray. Nice. Nicely done. So we got about 6 minutes till 10 a.m. That's that data print as well. We'll see if we have better little bit better location at 10 a.m. I like a true test of prior day high, maybe even a full move into the 20K level of interest or that gap fill spot, which I believe we said was 980. Yeah, 980. Prior day close. So 50% intraday fib right there near 117. Regular session here, still a downtrend until price reclaims that 130 area. Yeah, 15-minute has some good potential here. And sellers just reload right there at the 50%. Coming right back in a session low. All right, here comes that data print. About 45 seconds. So prior day high will be on watch. As well as that true gap fill spot and the 20K level of interest. There's 10 a.m. Data doesn't even bring volume in. So that's behind us now. Right back into that 38% fib. So far, no true test of that prior day high granted. We have a little intraday change of character here. Higher low, price breaking the most recent lower high. Still cash on my end. Cashola. Looking for that high quality setup. I want to see that high quality setup. Little rejection there, fib sell zone. Like to see, like I said a couple times, I like to see either prior day high, pretty much this area down here. It's a very wide zone, but I want to see some action down into here or up above 150. Context right now is a rejection of near term range high. So I'm just staying patient. Staying patient, waiting for that A plus. ES looks like it had a really nice test of that prior day high, a true test over there. That looks much better. Yeah. Probably should have been in that trade. The old S&P, nice hammer right there. Nice signal. Old Don would have had 10 executions already. That's progress right there. Good deal. Watch for some potential tape bombs. I guess Trump is speaking soon. FYI. And here's NASDAQ into the lows. Finally. Finally. Still not a true test of that prior day high just yet. Not quite. ES, new low of day, pretty much everything new lows with the exception of RTY. RTY, nice reject at VWAP right there. For anyone that trades Russell. Good uptick in volume. Let's adjust those fibs a little bit. And likely see a true test of prior day high right here. 53.5. Then from there, it's the 20K and prior day close. A pretty wide zone here. So we'll see how it's going to be traded. Pretty much still here, just sitting on that prior day high. This yellow line's prior day close, and then the 20K down beneath this area. Pretty limited bounce so far. There's your new low of day. Good volume now. Better volume. So 20K about 40 points lower. There you go. A little more momentum now. You still riding that short, Des? You still in there? There's RTY into target. 2-hour trader framework on RTY. Got out at 950. It's a good exit. Right where that consolidation was, yeah. All right, so NASDAQ right back into the prior day high here. Hit your daily goal. Nicely done, man. Nicely done. So let's see if sellers reload here. Prior day high. Take us all the way into 20K. NASDAQ into the shallow fib, 23% fib. Intraday action, RTH action still remains intraday downtrend. Following an overnight test and so far rejection of that near-term range high. Remember your context. Near-term range. Here's your spring, hits the target. Rejection. Rejection. So keeping an eye on intraday structure here with that prior day high on watch as well. Decent reference point. Settling back into a little bit of churn. Hate to see volume that low, personally. Struggled with the 120 short. 121. Oh, right through here. Right through there. RTH VWAP was sitting there. Oh, that actually looks pretty good. NQ retesting 100 psychological level. You got the fib there. Fib sell zone. Sellers stepping in. Yeah, that was decent. That was decent. I'm 1 for 2 on the morning. 1 for 2. We initially took a stop, got back in, higher low, prior day low. The long ended up being pretty nice. Trailed out, accidentally had too many contracts and flipped short. Not my finest morning. But we'll see what else we get here. See what else we get. Staying very, very patient. Remember, context goes against the direction that I like to trade. So as of right now, intraday structure still pointing lower, right? Series of lower highs. So series of lower highs. Ray grabbed a little scalp in there. Nice. Yeah, you had the reference point for it and the little kind of microstructure. It's not bad. It's not bad. Preference for me always going to be a level of interest rather than a reference point, especially considering we still have an unfilled gap down beneath this area. So tight leash was the good call there, if you ask me. We did have a little uptick in volume right there on that test of the 50%. 50% fib. Was that some little tape bomb that hit right there? Or just technical? Let's take a look at the feeds really quick. I mean, just looking at the tape, it looks like it's moving like there's some chatter going on or something. Is Trump finally speaking? Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, so we got US UK trade chatter going on right now, FYI. And Q coming back up into that 50% fib. 50% fibbler. Potentially a little higher low right there at the prior day high. We'll see if it can show any follow through. Dom's definitely long. We hit it again. We hit it again. All right, we're 2 for 3. 2 for 3 at the prior day high. Start the morning with a stop. Start the morning with a stop. No big deal. No big deal. You gonna let a little stop make you crash out and go full degen in your account? No. No, not gonna do that. Gonna act like a professional. Keep it together. Keep it together. Just wait for the next setup. No crash out, just a few deep breaths. Realize losses are part of the game. Let's see 100 right here. This tape is jittery. It's got the jitters. It's got the Trump jitters. Trump speak jitters. Looks like it's had too much caffeine. You got the 50% fib right here in the 100 psychological level, acting like a wall. Dom, you trailed? Fair enough. I'm still in there. Still in there. Trail's in profit though, so God, what a messy execution screen. There we go. Trim some more. $125. Yeah, that's the next area for sure, Mr. Chrissy. Probably like 123-ish, but close enough. All through here. 61% fib, that one of the more recent lower highs, and then VWAPy. And forget about VWAPy. We're nicely green on the day now. See, just like that. If you start your morning with a stop and you've ever like had a big crash out, just remember this moment. Remember this moment right here on display, real time. Just wait for the next good trade. Don't worry, I've been there though. I've been there. Been there with those degen moments. We've been there. We got the trail below 100 right now, so there's the trail. We're out 2 for 3. All attempts at the prior day high. Second one, like I said, the trail actually flipped me short, so that was a little tax I had to pay. Little error tax, if you will. A little mistake tax. Thanks, Ray. It happens. It happens. Pretty clean rejection there, right near VWAP. Intraday structure, 61% fib. You got VWAP right there. Yeah, the trail worked out pretty nicely, actually. Getting back in a prior day high. I don't think I want to hit it a fourth time, to be honest. So buyers were unable to really push this thing up above 120, even give it a real test of 150. Not sure I want to slap prior day high again. Probably wait for 20K, see the reaction down there. It looks like ES, nice rejection at VWAP. Some decent action. No break of structure on the 5 minute. Yep. Accurate. Shutting it down, Dom. Nice. Good time to shut it down. So yeah, there's your next test of prior day high. Again, no position personally. If it goes, it goes without me, and that's all right. Turner a day series, nice down. It's a good call. Utilize the if you're on Top Step X, utilize the lockout tools. They are very helpful. Very, very helpful. A little consolidation here right near the prior day high. Like I said, no entry there. That's the fourth or fifth test of the prior day high. No entry there. No entry. We're staying patient now. 2 for 3 on the day. And Q down through prior day high. Like I said, fourth test. Do we really want to be grabbing it again? Personally, no. Like I said. At this point, what I want is either a true test into 20K, or like Ray had mentioned in the chat earlier, a break of 150 with some market structure. Almost 90 into the morning. How we doing? How's everyone's morning so far? We green? Are we green? I know Dez is green. Nicole green. There we go. Green, 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 green. Nice. There we go. All right, Ray. Take care, man. Have a good day, sir. Volume's still decent. I think we still have that trade chatter. ongoing. See if we get that test at 20K. It's kind of what I want to see here. There's a lot of churn near the prior day high right now. Tough spot. Yeah, we're staying patient. We're staying patient. We did those first few tests. First few tests at prior day high. Nothing else. Nothing else. That's it. That is it. That was my first loss of the week this morning. It's been a pretty slow week, actually. Even with FOMC. So right now, just staying patient, wanting to see the 11 a.m. move. If we get one. This is real life trading for you, though. It's a lot of staying patient and waiting, letting the setup come to you. Looks like we got Trump speaking still. Look at that, right into the lows. New low of day, almost. There it is, new low of day, NQ. There's 20K. So personally, don't need to be the first one in here. We'll see the reaction. Good volume. Bring that fib. Adjust the fib. So the gap fill, remember the gap fill is down at 979. Buyer's not interested at all in that 20K. There's the gap fill. That's what I was saying. Don't need to be the first one in there. Don't need to be the first one in. Overnight gap completely filled. And about, what do we have, 4 minutes till 11? So just watching that reaction here. I'd like 11 a.m. to be behind us this next 30-minute close. We'll see how this develops here near 20K. Decent little bounce there for a scalp. No position personally, but good reaction at the prior day close. This area we've been talking about all morning. 20K prior day close. NQ bumping into that. Oh, that's actually not even accurate. I was going to say it's bumping into shallow fib, but we got to make an adjustment here. There you go. Anyone grab that scalp? Fast tape, very, very fast tape. There's back in at 20K. I'm still hands off in this area. Still hands off. Trump's still speaking, just FYI. Prior day high right overhead. The 53 is your prior day high. All right, gave it a try right there. Trailed real tight. Not the trade I want to wait and see on, so I want that one to go right away. 3 for 4 on the morning. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it right there. 20K stays on watch. Prior day close, like this whole area stays on watch. 20K. Prior day close is the yellow line down here. Now, if this area fails, price is probably gonna do a full retest of the near term range low. Remember, we talked about the spring yesterday. Post FOMC target for that is going to be near term range high. Main watch this morning was how price responds to 300. I had shared in the pre-market prep notes that if we have a rejection up here at 300, you really want to be cautious with any longs. And that is pretty much the exact thing we've seen today. So now price is mid-range, right in the middle of the near-term range. Not the best location from a structural perspective, even though you have a level of interest. So keep that in mind if you're gonna keep pressing this morning. I'm gonna take a little break here. No stream tomorrow, so thank you guys for your time today, and we will see you again on Monday. Have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your week. Trade safe, trade smart. Take care.